What is the most dangerous thing people don't realize is all that dangerous? The pin setters in a bowling alley. They are well over 1,000 pounds of mechanized death by steel and moving belts. Some of the scariest moments of my life have been me running/slapping the six between me and the emergency shut-off behind the front desk as a toddler runs, slipping and sliding, down the lane while their parents or guardians are laughing by the table because they thought it was cute. Even experienced pin setter mechanics have been crushed to death during scheduled maintenance. Pin setters are machines of convenience, entertainment and death. We had someone die from a bowling pin setter incident in my area. Scary stuff. Having your hands in your pockets while doing stuff, walking stairs, driving a bike etc. Psychological/emotional bullying among siblings. Parents too often label it as sibling rivalry or teasing, thinking it's harmless, but if left unchecked, that can cause lifelong damage. When we're kids, we're forming our identities and our understanding of the world, and all of that can be very easily influenced. Insecurities can turn into mental illnesses, which can wreak havoc on every aspect of our lives. I'm not saying parents should constantly be monitoring their kids' interactions and constantly protecting them from one another, but you need to listen when one of your kids says the other is going too far. If one of your kids starts developing insecurities, you need to help them, and you need to talk to the other one and get them to lay off. Teach them compassion. Teach them to treat others with respect and dignity. Don't worry about it making them weak or soft. It won't. There is strength in kindness. How has no one said fireworks yet? They're literally colorful bombs. Passengers should never rest their feet on the dash of the car, because when the airbag does its thing, it is only one way to go. Several terrible things can happen at this point. 1. Your knees get pushed into your face, and I won't paint that picture. Or, 2. Your hips are dislocated. Ice/black ice is extremely dangerous. My grandpa was putting salt down after an ice storm the day after Christmas. My dad was in town visiting and insisted Grandpa stay off the ice. Grandpa fell right in front of my dad, hit his head hard. Woke up once in the hospital when my grandma was by his side, and then passed. When I see those fail videos of people slipping on ice I cringe. The ocean. One change of the tide and you can be a goner if you're not paying attention. My first sailing teacher told me that the ocean wasn't trying to kill you, but it was aggressively indifferent to my survival. Using non-ladder objects to reach things out of reach. Getting in and out of a wet shower or bathtub. Pressure washers. The more powerful ones can inject water into you through your skin if you put a body part too close to the nozzle. Snow globes. If you leave them near a window, they can act as lenses and set your house on fire. Have garage door openers been mentioned yet? Stress. Agreed, this past year has been the most stressful year of my life with my new job. Was sick more this year than I have been my whole life. Using rocks from a river to make a fire pit. Bright colors in the wild. Don't go near. Petrol/gasoline. I have seen so many videos of people trying to transport it in plastic bags, or buckets. It is incredibly volatile, even a small amount can instantly turn into a mini inferno. Carrying a gallon of the stuff in a plastic bag is insanity. Being knocked out. I guess a lot of people know that it is dangerous, but probably a good amount don't. We see it in movies all the time. People punched in the head with fists, chairs, pistols etc. then they wake up somewhere else, with maybe a minor headache but are pretty much good to go. I am not a doctor, but I can only assume that sustaining head trauma that is enough to render you unconscious is something pretty serious. You have to go to a hospital after something like that, you don't just walk it off. Also, fighting in general is quite dangerous, yet you see people getting in physical altercations all the time, for minor things. I have seen a video in my hometown where one guy punches another in the head, who then falls down back on his head and just starts twitching. There is a very good chance that the guy just ruined his own life and the life of the other dude. And for what? Because he looked at him funny or something. Tick bite. This tastes kinda funny, oh well. Food poisoning can, you up big time. You can permanently damage your body. If something doesn't taste right, stop eating it immediately. When in doubt, throw it out. Crowds. There's photos of the people at the fence during the Hillsborough disaster that are haunting. Just a huge crush of people clearly desperate for air at what should have been a normal day out. Clothes and water, specifically long dresses like wedding dresses. Lots of people have died doing wedding shoots in shallow waters at the beach, or rivers, or even swimming pools. Those dresses get very heavy, catch lots of drag, and easily tangle around limbs. Not drinking enough water. Or drinking too much. Lots of people don't take gun safety seriously. You always assume a gun is loaded, check it yourself when it handed to you, and never ever point a gun at someone whether is loaded or empty. Untreated mental illness. Probably not the most, but a disturbing amount of people seem to think wild animals won't try to hurt or kill them. Concert venues, nightclubs, and bars, especially if they are packed. If you are having any issues trying to move around during that event, it could be a spell for a disaster. People don't realize how quick things can go wrong, especially in a crowded area. Always have an exit strategy and look for the location of the emergency exits. People tend to leave from where they came in. If the emergency exits are very few and far between, or even locked up and the place is packed, do yourself a favor and leave. Incidents like Rhode Island Station Fire and Pulse nightclub are a few examples of how dangerous these places can get. Seriously, have a plan in the back of your mind on how to get out of a packed establishment. It could save your life and the lives of those who you care about. Escalators. Escalators have the potential to cause severe injuries to those who use them or work around them. Cleaning, due to harsh cleaning chemicals. Loose, untrained dogs. My aunt got mauled by a pack of 3 dogs while out for a walk and thankfully survived, only with minor scars on her face. She moved away because of it. Oleanders. I can't speak to just how bad they are, I've only read, but where I lived in CA, they were freaking everywhere. Mixing chemicals like bleach and ammonia while cleaning a bathroom and keeping your car running in a closed garage. Water. Not even joking, I've been sent photos by people who had the grand idea of placing a swimming pool on the balcony of their 3rd floor flat and showing them filling it. They get annoyed when I tell them to stop right there and empty that shot before they kill someone. Because some people don't understand that water is pretty heavy, and when you put a 5,000-liter swimming pool on your balcony, you've essentially parked a tipper truck on it. Cars. It's pretty easy to get killed on the road. You gotta have some respect. So don't drive sleepy, and don't look on your phone. Pay attention. Hoofed animals. Yes, they can be domesticated. Yes, they can look majestic. But most of them weigh hundreds if not thousands of pounds. If they get mad or threaten, they will kick and trample you to death. Growing up in a rural area, I was taught to never walk behind a horse. Now I see videos of people treating horses like house cats. I was told having my son wear a helmet while riding his bike was putting him in bubble wrap. I'm a brain injury nurse, it's the bare minimum, honestly. Mosquitoes. Stairs. Getting drunk. Fractal wood burning. Looks like a fun little hobby project, but it'll kill you. Radon gas buildup in your home. If you live in an area with granite rocks, get a test done. In Ontario, it's about $50. Strong links to lung cancer. If your reading are high, you will have to get a vent installed basically from your basement to outside. DIY home repairs. Around on the roof with a poorly fixed ladder is just one example of an accident waiting to happen. Pregnancy. Finding out house was based on real medical mysteries. I'm terrified of everything now. In the eastern United States, white-tailed deer. Due to humans, their predators are gone and they are massively overpopulated. There are more white-tailed deer on the eastern seaboard now than there were when the Europeans arrived. Motor vehicle accidents involving whitetails kill about 100 people a year. Most of these involve idiots who don't want to wear a helmet on a motorcycle. Since the whitetail's natural environment has been developed and segmented, they have no choice but to browse on agriculture. Tick-borne diseases like Lyme disease and Rocky Mountain spotted fever impact more and more humans every year. And don't get me started on prions and alpha-gal syndrome, because you're probably bored and ready to move on the next comment anyway. Pregnancy. My first ended in an emergency C-section where I lost way too much blood, and my second I got preeclampsia and had to be hospitalized for the weeks leading up to the birth. I was going into organ failure and they got her out as soon as I turned 37 weeks. I was lucky with both pregnancies that both me and my daughters ended up okay, but that's not always the case for everyone, so much can go wrong. The sun. The smell of rotten eggs is well known, that means a gas leak. What is not well known is the smell of rotten fish is equally as dangerous in a house. The smell of rotten fish in a house is almost always followed by an electrical fire. Walking as a pedestrian in NYC. I see so many people 3 feet from death on a weekly basis. I have personally saved 3 people's lives in the past 2 years when this series of events happens. A. The person was looking at their phone waiting to cross the street. B. People next to them start to cross the street, but the person didn't realize the people they were next to them were jaywalking and they were doing it quickly to thread the needle between cars. C. Person on phone assumes the light has changed and start walking, but slowly. Since the others are going fast, they will make it, but the person on the phone is casually walking across and will get smashed by the car. D. Me, grab their shoulder while yelling watch it. If you don't yell, they instantly get mad at you. If you yell this, they get surprised and shocked. Still not looking at the car that is about to hit them. None of the 3 people I mentioned below even said, thanks. Laughing or talking while you have food in your mouth. The food may enter the windpipe instead of entering into the food pipe. Moose. Everyone seems to worry more about bears and wolves, but it'd rather happen across one of them than a moose any day. Like the honey badger, it's all about attitude. Type 2 diabetes. It greatly increases your risk for heart attack, stroke, severe infection, nerve damage, kidney disease and failure, and more. Hey, thanks for subscribing and liking. It really means a lot to me. While you are here, feel free to hop on over to the last video. See you there. Ronnie.